Good evening, viewers. In Wisdom 24, we are seeing the basics of astrology, how to learn the basics of astrology. Okay, since for the four classes, we saw the very basics, the chart descriptions, the planets and the houses, and there are so many things we discussed, right? This is a fresh chapter, that is a lesson 5. This is completely different from the previous 4 chapters. This is especially designed class for the mathematical analysis of the birth time. How if a child born in a particular time, how we are going to calculate the time, as per that how we are going to place the particular lagna, that means ascent, and the rashi, in which pada the child born, in which lagna, from where we have to start, everything, the complete mathematical concept you are going to see in this lesson. Listen carefully, this is somewhat complicated when compared to previous lessons. Here you need mathematical approach and mathematical analysis skills, and you need more practices. As I told you in previous classes, you put a separate note and write and take a notes for each and every lessons. Okay, in this lesson also you take a notes, and mathematically you have to formulate. For example, you can try for your own date of birth time, or you can try for a newborn date of birth time in your family or a friend circle, and you can calculate yourself, so you will get more confidence for the analysis of horoscopes in future. Okay, this is a basic class, don't miss it and listen very carefully. It is a basement for the entire astrology calculations. Okay, yes, come, let us see. So today what I am going to say is, it is just a horoscope, right? It is an empty horoscope. Here we are going to calculate, as I told you, we are going to learn a very new concept here. Yeah, basic sign calculations, basic sign Naliga and Vinaliga calculation. That is a new concept, Naliga and Vinaliga. Naliga and Vinaliga are the ancient method of calculating the time. Before they invented the 24 hours clock or a 12 hours clock or a 24 hours per day, before inventing this itself, this is a mathematical calculation was designed by astrologer at the previous ancient time itself. So based on that only they are going to calculate the time of the birth of the child. Okay, so here I'm going to give you new concepts, please take it down. First house, 4 1 by 4, the time. I will say you what is this calculation, what is this number and all. You please take down this 5 and off, 5 1 by 4, 5 5 5 1 by 4, 5 and off, 5 1 by 4, 4 3 by 4 and 4 1 by 4. So this is constant values. As I told you, this is Aries, this is Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Pisces, right? Aquarius and Pisces. So these are all the constant houses, as I told you. These are all the constant numbers you have to remember in each and every houses. It doesn't vary. And I will say you what this number represents. Okay. So for Aries it is 4 1 by 4. For this and this, half Vinaliga. This part is Naliga and this part is Vinaliga. So Naliga is same, Vinaliga is half difference. Here Naliga is same, Vinaliga is 1 by 4 difference. Here 1 by 4 difference. Here 1 by 4 difference. Here no difference. Here 1 by 4 difference. Here again 1 by 4 difference. Here 1 by 4 difference. Here half difference. From here half difference. So you just see what are the difference between Naliga and Vinaliga in each and every houses. Based on this, we are going to see the more calculations. The first and foremost thing in this lesson is you have to memorize this chart. In Aries, 4 1 by 4, in Taurus 4 3 by 4, in Gemini 5 1 by 4, Leo 5 and a half, sorry, Cancer 5 and a half, Leo 5 1 by 4, Virgo 5 Libra 5, Scorpio 5 1 and half, Sagittarius 5 1 and half, 5 half, Capricorn is 5 1 by 4, Aquarius is 4 3 by 4, and Pisces is 4 1 by 4. So these things you have to remember. Now I will say what is Naliga and what is Vinaliga. As I told you previously, this is Naliga. The first number is Naliga. This part is a Vinaliga, right? Yeah. This one is Naliga and this one is Vinaliga. Okay. Now, why actually, what is the meaning of this? Why we have to calculate like this? Everything I will going to explain you. Before that, I am going to give you a mathematical description of these things. Yeah. Naliga concepts. You just take down this. I told you this is the ancient days mathematical calculation of time. 1 day is equal to 16 Naligai. Naliga. 1 hour equals 2.5 Naliga. How to remember? I will explain you. I take down this. 1 Naliga equals 16 Vinaliga. 1 second equals 2.5 Vinaliga. And 1 Naliga equals 24 seconds. Okay. See, I told you Naliga concepts I am going to explain you, right? 1 day in ancient times and all, this is a modern clock, right? After AC, at that time, before Christian, this is no particular 24 hours per day or 12 hours. Right, 24 hours means 12 plus 12, 24 AM 12 hours and PM 12 hours, like that now we are calculating. But for 1 day, in previous ancient days and all, for 1 day we will call that as a 60 Naliga. Naligai. Okay, in Tamil we will call as a 60 Naligai. So for 1 day it is 60 Naliga. That means for 1 hour, we know as per now 1 day we are having 24 hours, correct? In 1 day we are having 24 hours. So for 1 day 60 Naliga means for 1 hour 60 with respect to 24 hours, today 1 hour is equal to 2.5 Naliga. We will calculate in that way. So 1 Naliga is equal to 60 Vinaliga. Like 1 hour is equal to 60 seconds. No? In the same way, 1 Naliga is equal to 16 Vinaliga. And 1 second equal to 2.5 Vinaliga. 1 Naliga is equal to 24 seconds. 1 Naliga equal to 24 seconds. As we know, 1 hour equals 60 seconds, correct? Yeah, this we know. But 1 second is equal to 2.5 Naliga. That is 1 Naliga is equal to 24 seconds. Means 24 seconds. With respect to Vinaliga, 24 seconds is equal to 2.5 into 24. That is 60 Vinaliga. 1 second is equal to 2.5 Vinaliga. So 1 Naliga is equal to how much? Like that we have to calculate. So it will be equal, 1 Naliga is equal to 64 Vinaliga. That is 1 Naliga is equal to 16 Vinaliga. That is nothing but a 24 seconds. In this way we have to memorize. Okay, once again I will explain you. Please clearly listen this. 1 day equals 60 Naliga. 1 hour equals 2.5 Naliga. 1 Naliga equals 60 Vinaliga. And 1 second equals 2.5 Vinaliga. And 1 Naliga equals 24 seconds. See, what I am coming to say is relate these three, especially relate these three. We know 1 Naliga equal to 16 Vinaliga. That is nothing but which is equal to, see, these left hand side and left hand side equal. So obviously this right hand side will be equal. So 1 Naliga is equal to 16 Vinaliga. 1 Naliga is equal to 24 seconds. So 24 seconds is nothing but 60 Vinaliga. 1 second is equal to 2.5 Vinaliga. So 1 day is equal to 16 Naliga. These are all the things you have to memorize. It may be complicated for you to remember, but while we are solving the sums now, it will be very easy for you to remember. Yeah, we will go to, directly we will go to the time of the birth. So it will be easy for you to remember. For example, take Naliga, Vinaliga. Okay. If a child birth calculation is, I will say you how to calculate this, but now I will give you the brief description about the calculation. If the child Naliga, birth of Naliga is 55 Naliga and 45 Vinaliga. Okay. I will say you how to add this and all. Now I will just explain you the calculation only. Okay. So if you add this 14, 54, 62. Okay. 62, 54. This is a normal calculation. So for the same normal calculation, if you are having 7 Naliga and 29 Vinaliga, so if you add this, what will come? 14, 6, 7, 12, 6, 62 Naliga and 74 Vinaliga. We don't have 74 Vinaliga. We have to conclude only to 60 Vinaliga only. So 62 Naliga and 60 Vinaliga. Here how much is extra when compared to 60? 14. So that 14 you mention here separately. So 16 Vinaliga is nothing but 1 Naliga, correct? We wrote 60 Vinaliga is nothing but 1 Naliga. So this you add with this. That is, now the answer is 63 Naliga and 14 Vinaliga. I hope you understood this. One more example I will give you. For example, 54 Naliga, 45 Vinaliga. You have to subtract to this numbers, to some other number. So your answer is 51 and 42, 47. Okay. So this is no issue. Sometimes you will have 55 Naliga and 105 Vinaliga. From that you have to subtract like this, means, so 105 minus 54 is 51. So this is 54. 54 minus 7 is, how much it will be? See, this I separated as 60 plus 55, right? So only 55 minus 54, 51. This 60 Vinaliga I added here. So only 55 minus 7. Understood? So we got a 47 Naliga is to 51 Vinaliga. This is a mathematical calculation of the Naliga and Vinaliga, how to add, how to subtract. Now the important concept we came to the important concept. If a child birth is, for example, if a child born in the time 4:56 PM, that is in PM 4:56 minutes, if the child born, that is you take this as a child birth. Okay, how to calculate? See, nowadays and all, if you put the date of birth and time, automatically in so many apps are there, we can get the chart directly. We can get that directly. But as an astrologer, if you want to know the beauty of mathematics behind these concepts, definitely you have to know. If you are interested, you can continue to see this. Obviously, some apps may do a mistake. If we know this calculation properly, we ourselves check it manually and we can confirm it. Okay, this is a app. In app, there are actually so many astrologers designed. If you give a date of birth and time, automatically the chart will come. But here, how I am teaching you is, you have to draw the chart of the child birth from your side. So it will be a very happy for you to generate a chart with manual calculation, that you can clarify, that you can match with the app oriented chart. So you will feel happy that you generated the chart of the child. Okay, now we will come to the concept. If the sun rise at the particular places 6 6 hours 7 minutes and 6 a.m. This is a sunrise at the particular place of birth. This is a childbirth. Okay. So now how we have to calculate the Naliga and Vinaliga. Okay. First, the thing is the childbirth is 4 hours 56 p.m. So convert that into 24 hours chart. So 4 plus 6, 16. 16 hour 56 minute is the childbirth time in standard time. So in their sun rises 6:07. Find the difference between these two. What is the difference between these two? 10 hour and 49 minutes. Correct? This is a childbirth time. This is a sunrise place at that particular place. So if you find the difference between these two, you will get a 10 hour and 49 minutes. So this is the intermediate time. This we will call as a intermediate time between the sunrise and childbirth. Between the sunrise and childbirth. Now I will teach you how to calculate the Naliga and Vinaliga with respect to that. Okay, we calculated 10 hours 49 minutes is the intermediate time between the childbirth and sunrise. Okay, now how we will convert this into this modern time into the ancient terminology Naliga. So I told you each and every, see, come to this chart. Yes. 2.5 Naliga, right? 1 hour is equal to 2.5 Naliga. 1 second is equal to 2.5 Vinaliga. So 1 hour is equal to 2.5 Naliga. That means 2.5 in a mixed fraction. If it is a 2.5, we can convert that as a proper fraction as 5 into 5 by 2, right? So we can write as 10 into 5 by 2, which is equal to 25 Naliga. So if I am converting this hours 10 hours into Naliga means I will multiply into 2.5 Naliga. That is 10 hour into 2.5 Naliga, 25 Naliga. And for Vinali, 49 minutes is a subdivision of that. So 49 into 5 by 2, that is seconds we can say. Again 2.5, so 5 by 2. So if we calculate this, we will get a 120.5 Vinaliga. I hope you understood this. Okay. So totally my time in ancient terminology is 25 Naliga and 122 Vinaliga. This is Naliga, this is Vinaliga. As I told you, here you should have 60 only. So after 120, how much you just subtract. In 120 you can get 260s, right? 120 means 60 into 60 is 260 plus 60 plus 2 you are having, correct? So here 60 is 1 Naliga, here 1 Naliga, here 2 Vinaliga. So these two you add to this Naliga, that is 22 plus 2, 27 Naliga and 2 Vinaliga. So just now you calculated the childbirth Naliga and Vinaliga. So finally we extracted the Naliga and Vinaliga from the childbirth time, that is 27 Naliga and 2 Vinaliga, right? This is Naliga and this is Vinaliga. For what? For which data we extracted this? For childbirth 4 hour, for childbirth 4 hour 56 p.m. and if the childbirth happens in the place sunrise time is 6 hour 7 a.m. If this is the particular data we got for a childbirth and the sunrise time at the particular place, in this way we are calculating the Naliga and Vinaliga. After we calculated the Naliga and Vinaliga, we can easily plot the chart for that particular child with ascent and which planet, which pada, where it will be located, everything. That I am going to teach you in the part 2 of this lesson 5 class. Okay. Yeah. Come, we will see a recap of this class. As I told you, this is the Naliga and Vinaliga. You have to this is the basic Naliga and Vinaliga. That is, this part is a Naliga and this part is a Vinaliga. Okay, this you have to remember. So Naliga concepts I told you. For 1 day it is 60 naliga, for 1 hour 2.5 naliga, for 1 naliga 16 vinaliga, for 1 second 2.5 vinaliga, 1 naliga 24 seconds. So I told you, I gave you the calculation methodology. If it is this much naliga vinaliga, you can add directly. If it extends, okay, if the vinaliga extends above 60, we can convert into 60 plus 14. That 60 we have to add to this part. So 63 naliga, 14 vinaliga. And the same methodology in a subtraction format I told you. Here also borrowing format I told you. And childbirth and sunrise we have to get as a data to calculate a chart. And from that we convert the hours into naliga, minutes into seconds into vinaliga. After that, after calculating naliga and vinaliga, I told you this is a last extraction we have to calculate for this birth chart. With the help of this naliga and vinaliga, it's very easy for us to plot the birth chart of the child with respect to Asan, Pada, which nakshatra, where everything we can calculate. So for that, wait for the next session, that is part 2 of the lesson 5. Okay viewers, thank you for watching my video. Thank you.